The ICE shooting of Renee Nicole Good is sparking protest across the country. Well, Minneapolis-based evangelist Nick Hall, founder and president of Pulse Evangelism, is here with the latest. Nick, what is happening on the ground right now in your city?
Yeah, it's a sad time. It's a hard time. There's pain. There's mourning. There's anger. We're based right in downtown Minneapolis. Protesters came by our office right after this tragic shooting. But what I can say is that I love this city, and the church is alive and well. Running into the need, running to stand in the midst and between first responders and protesters, and God is at work even in the midst of this difficult time.
Well, obviously, the nationwide, worldwide protest that was sparked by the George Floyd killing was obviously also in Minneapolis. So you guys are not, unfortunately, new to this. What did you guys learn from that experience that might help you address what's going on now?
Yeah, we have a saying in the Twin Cities among the church that crisis, you need friendship to respond to crisis. And so the benefit of what's been happening in the Twin Cities is that there is unity across the bride of Christ, across, the Black church, the immigrant church, the suburban church, man, every background. And so you have friends calling friends, you have people asking for help, you have people saying, where can I go? What can I do? How can we meet this need? There's prayer gatherings last night. There's gatherings this morning. And this is happening amongst all areas of the city, right? It's happening among immigrant populations. It's happening among first responders. It's happening even with the ICE agents, like coming alongside, trying to be people of peace, love, grace, truth. And so, I mean, we are a city that's prepared. And I like to remind people, Jesus didn't choose to go into safe areas. He went into a conflict zone. And so where the crisis is where the light of Jesus is needed most.
Well, obviously, this death has splintered the nation. You don't really find many people that have a 50-50 view on this. There are people that are just absolutely livid either way. And so the question is for you, Nick, like you obviously are trying to be this middle ground, but how do you tangibly, practically bring Jesus in this situation? Try to be that, I guess, peacemaker when there's just so much vitriol in the language right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to listen first. We have to seek to understand. We have to pray. And I think just like any situation, there's people on different sides of this that have very strong opinions who are going to tell you you're wrong no matter what you do. And I just say, man, we call it in our ministry, we want to live in the radical middle. Like we want to ask the question, where would Jesus be and what would Jesus be doing in the midst of this? And I think he would be running to these first responders, these ICE agents. I think he would be applauding those that are standing for justice and trying to fight for the rule of law. And similarly, he would be running alongside those that are fearful and those that are afraid and those that maybe feel or have been profiled or targeted. And, I think as a Christian, it's our job to come in the middle and say, hey, man, we want to pray, we want to bless, we want to seek to understand. And how we can be different in this time is by not entering into the name calling, not jumping to conclusions, but being people who, again, I'm going to pray, I'm going to seek to understand. I have friends in the Somalian community who are great people, who are citizens. I have friends in the Twin Cities that I know aren't legal, right? And so this is a firsthand thing. I also am friends with many first responders, police. I have met with ICE agents in the midst of this, prayed for them, tried to encourage them. These are men and women who have been gone for months. They've left their families. They're not from Minnesota. They're experiencing winter right now. Like no one is choosing to do this for their job. You couldn't pay me enough money to do this. And yet we need godly, good people in the middle of all these spaces. Yeah, I think it's important for people to remember that these are real humans in the midst of this crisis. In the last couple of days, I've been with immigrant people who are weeping in fear, and I've been with ICE agents who are weeping, been away from their families, are in chaos and crisis. We need to remember the humanity and the dignity and the love and respect that every person deserves. Jesus meets people where they are, and that's what we're called to do in times like this.
Hmm. Well, how should the church at large be involved in this situation? I mean, it goes without saying. I've seen the back end, I guess you could say, of the comment section, as I'm sure you have, where there's that guy who always puts deport button, and then there's 7,000 likes, and conversely, the other side of the equation, and so people are just kind of obviously siloed, pigeonholed, echo chambered, and even having the conversation of being someone who listens is just not acceptable in many circles. So, what would your message be to the American church at large?
Yeah, I would really just say, man, what Minneapolis needs right now is your prayers. What Minneapolis needs right now is your encouragement. What Minneapolis doesn't need right now is a bunch of people labeling and saying, like, you may see things on the news, you may see a headline, but I'm here. I'm in. You're seeing my face right now. This is a beautiful city. There's amazing people. God is moving. The church is alive. Like, we need to be speaking life. We need to be praying into hope. Some people will say to me in times like this, like during George Floyd, you need to leave that city. It's a hell in a handbasket. Get out of there. And my response is, if we leave every time there's crisis, how do we expect anything to change?
Come
The
on,
church, we are the ones that should be running into the burning building. The
let's
world
go.
is running away. We are the ones that know where our salvation is. We know, listen, I have been forgiven everything. That gives me a great ability to forgive. This is the time for the church to shine and stand out. So pray, listen, seek to understand, be a peacemaker. Yes, you can stand up for first responders. You can stand up for elected officials. You can stand up for immigrants. I'm not saying you can't do those things, but you can do it in a way that's loving and kind and respecting those of all sides. And I've seen that. I've seen that among protesters. I've seen that among ICE agents. I've seen the difference. Man, when people are respecting and loving and listening, this is great. It's a fine situation. And you know what? We need people who are enforcing rules and enforcing laws. And so, man, I'm here saying God is here. We need your prayers now more than ever. The spotlight is on this city again. I don't know why. I wish it wasn't for this reason, right? I wish we were doing an interview about the 200 baptisms that have happened in our basement since George Floyd, in a parking garage. I wish we were talking about the tens of thousands of young people coming to Jesus in this city. But you know what? The light is always brightest when it's darkest. And so this is a great time to be in the light business if you're a follower of Jesus.
Woo, man, you're preaching. I am thankful that you are in Minneapolis, that people like you are in Minneapolis, and I could not agree more. Followers of Yeshua should be running towards the problem, not away from it, to bring the salt and the light into those situations. You gave an amazing word. We're going to be praying for you, your ministry, and most definitely your city. Nicole, I appreciate your time, my friend.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.